Mumesikia pinky pinky ponky. That young man is 39 years old. Mujua leadership is there. The youth are now the leaders. Not tomorrow. Leo. Bwana Bishop, I want to tell you, we are very proud of what you're doing here. It takes a lot of courage to bring down a cathedral that has been here beyond your existence. Beyond your existence. And say we are going to bring it up to standard to modern day Kenya. That is leadership, and I can tell you, ACK Mount Kenya South Diocese, muko na kiongozi hapa. You are very, very lucky and very blessed. Let me say one or two words. I don't have the 7 points because, you know, the governor also wants to speak. I only have a few points. The first one, I must say, because in the little tours we did, we realized there is a problem with families in this country. We are having very many challenges. And many are saying that those challenges are coming because of money or lack of it. Others, morals. There is a Ghanaian proverb that goes like this. The ruin of a nation begins in the home. In the home. When you see a corrupt nation, that means you have a corrupt home. When you see immorality in the nation, you have immorality in the home. When you see theft, you have theft in the home. When you see homosexuality, yuko shida kwa nyumba. We are Christians. And we must hold our homes dear. That is what our forefathers taught us. That is our culture. Here as Muikuyos and others, correct? The home is everything. Everything. And we must now really start safeguarding the home. People talk about boy child, girl child. People are not talking about homes. The divorce rates are very high. The killings are very high. The decadence and drunkenness, very high. You know, even single mothers are at home. And we are not looking after single mothers, not inculcating them in familyhood. Without that home, we as a nation are destroyed. Today I hear young people, there was a radio broadcast on Friday, where young men were saying they cannot get married. Women are too demanding. Ati wanatafuta pesa. And the women are saying the men don't want responsibility. So what are we going to have here? A country without homes, without families, without children. Isn't that the beginning of Shaitani? Sio ni Shaitani? The minute we are not going forth and multiplying, isn't that Shaitani? Si ni Shaitani? Hey. We must go forth and multiply. And Kiambu here, because you are the wealthiest county. Wachana na Nairobi hapa. Hata nyinyi muko Nairobi hapa na watu wangu wa Murang'a. You are the wealthiest county. We want to see the growth rate here rise beyond your imagination. Pana hii 1%, sijui 2%. God provides when you get children. So don't worry about money. Governor yuko hapa. Hata yeye aanzishe fund ya watoto. I used to say if I became president during this last election, I was going to make sure that you go forth and multiply. Unajua, I had a bishop in Nyeri who asked me, how many children do you have, Jimmy? I said 2. He said, you have not listened to God's word. 2 is replacement. You have replaced your wife and yourself. Multiplication ni 3. Ni 4. ni 5. So I had said, nikiingia urais wa Kenya, I want to assure you of one thing. You get through children, I reduce tax. You get 4 children, I reduce tax again. You get 5, na reduce tena. Ukifika 6, no tax. And that is the way things are. Sindio? Because we are doing God's work. Why do you tax people when they are doing God's work? Na sisi ni watu wa Mungu. Bishop, in as much as we want to pay tax, you must tell serikali it must look after those who are doing God's work. Hiyo ni moja. Tuko pamoja? Are we together here? Haya. Ya pili. Because you know we are in siasa kidogo, we must talk some siasa, governor. We have got a new government. And let us not fool ourselves, this government has inherited huge problems. Huge problems. And I think it is only fair that we give this government time to deal with the problems they have inherited. Hii mambo ya ku point kila siku haina haja. Haina haja. People here are in serious problems. People are hungry. Yes or no? People are looking for the most basic of needs. You have children out of school that have no work. You have homes with no money, no jobs. And don't be fooled by anybody. These problems are going to increase long before they get better. So brace yourselves. You have unga now at 200 to 250. Maybe by the end of the year, it will be about 300. This time next year, 500. This is not just our problem, it's also a global problem. So we must give this government enough time before we kosoa it. Lakini wajue watu wako na njaa, governor. Mjue watu wako na njaa. You know, hunger has a lifespan. You'll die without food. So understand that the problem is urgent and people need solutions. And in as much as I support collection of taxes, taxes do not form solutions. They do not. Those are responsibilities, but they are not solutions. What are solutions are ideas. Ideas. We have a terrible economy. And this is a time now when all the ideas should be put in a basket to boost. In fact, people need a stimulus. Stimulus. When Mwai Kibaki got in, and in as much as some people are saying the economy was very bad that time worse than now, it was not. Moi did not leave debt for us to continue paying. This government the previous government has left debt that is taking away 65% of its revenue. So we have debt that is continuing the next 10, 20, 30 years. Shida. So the problem here is very deep. So, we need stimulus. When Mwai Kibaki got in, he had a very good stimulus program. He said free primary education. And in as much as people thought it's a cost to government, what he was doing was giving you back the money that you were spending for school. So if you spend 7,000 shillings per term, you got it back. Sindio? Higher. That was for 2 million parents. You count that per term, that was 20 billion shillings. He gave you back. In a year, 60 billion he gave you back. That money, if you are buying 1 Colgate a month, you are now able to buy 2. So Colgate Hapa industry expanded its industry, expanded its jobs. And the tax that came from there went back to the government to fund the free primary education. Tumpigie Mwai Kibaki makofi. That is the kind of program we need. Give us back money so we can fuel this economy. And these are the ideas you should be looking for. Not coming to take from us. Hatuna hiyo pesa. Hatuna. So kindly, let us look at progressive programs that are going to stimulate this economy. But I want to thank the government for one major thing they've done. Kuna kitu inaitwa reforms of police. Reforms. We have had a team here in the forest here, hapa. Kwa hii njia ya Kiambu hapa. Called DCI. And I'm not saying this because wamenivamia mara sijui ngapi. It's not personal. It is very clear that it had become rogue. It had become rogue. I want to thank the president for dealing with that DCI business here. They had become impunity galore. Wanaona watu, you think shooting somebody, you think God is the one who gives life. Who told you can just take it like that? God did not abrogate to you that duty. They had become mass murderers here. And we want them to be brought to book no matter how high it goes. Because when you do that, the ones who are there today will also not do it to us. Indio? Because you are dealing with something called impunity. So we want to encourage the government to continue doing what they are doing. Wachana na watu ambao wanapiga kelele. Waendelee na hiyo msako ya impunity. Whoever has done wrong to Kenyans and his fellow Kenyans, whether you are so-called an armed officer, you must be put before those courts and judged. You face the full force of the law. That is what we want, and we want to thank the government for initiating it. Don't stop. Continue. Don't be discouraged. Continue. And my last point. Sio imeingia hiyo? Are we together on that one? Are you sure? Aya. My last point is that you must appreciate you are the region that decides the destiny of Kenya. If you had any doubt, hii uchaguzi imeonyesha. Kweli ama si kweli? You are the region that decides the destiny of this nation. So you have a moral responsibility to keep guiding that direction for the good of all Kenyans. All. So nikizungumza mambo ya family, nyinyi mkiharibika family, hata kwingine kutaharibika. Nyinyi mkifaidika na pesa, you show other people the way. This is the way you make money, others will follow. So you have a greater calling in this nation. A greater calling. A higher one. And you must live up to that challenge. You don't start sliding downwards. You keep rising and keep rising and keep rising. And I challenge Kiambu specifically. You know the Jews, when they got Musako, what you don't know is that the Jews today control the airwaves here. There are very few people. But this thing called IT, satellite, all the medical technology, IT, all the films you see is a small community called the Jews. Your borders are not Kiambu or Central Kenya or Kenya. You have capacity to conquer beyond our borders. Beyond our borders. Start thinking big. Your time is coming. Asanteni sana. God bless you all.